Well, they've been learning that over the last week or so, Alana. They've done a good job. That's quite a start to the afternoon here for the Warriors, who, as we know, a bit like their male counterparts. It's been a campaign that's been dogged by some peripheral issues, but they're a squad that seems pretty close together.
Absolutely, and as I mentioned before, they've had an incredible week. They've spent the week really embracing one another's cultures and learning about them, and I think that's been really important for all of these women, and just having spoken to them, how much they've embraced and just really enjoyed this week of footy. I think we'll be fortunate enough to see them come together on a whole nother level for today's game, and I can't wait to see the efforts that they put out there today, because I know they've been stinging to get back out there and play.
Now, look, their form's not that bad, really. Against the Broncos in the opening game, they lost 28-14, then a 22-12 loss to the Roosters last week, and as we know, we'll see Brisbane and the Roosters in our second game today, and they'll play in next week's grand final. There's one of the out-and-out stars, Elliot Green. She's got an outstanding hairdo. It's a fast hairdo, that one, Alana, I'd describe it as, and she's full of speed too on the wing. So it's the Warriors and the Dragons starting our coverage of live rugby league here on 9 today. 3 games coming your way as we head into what should be a cracking grand final qualifier between the Panthers and South Sydney this evening. Ellie Johnston for the Dragons. Tackled 25 out from her own line. And now the veteran, Steph Hancock. Been a Jillaroo for 17 years, I think it is. She's been a wonderful ambassador for Women's Rugby League. Davis with an inside pass, and this is Holmes. 11 short of the halfway line. The first gamer, Etherton, with a lovely long pass here. And finds Johnston, who runs up and is tackled on the halfway line. Stowers, the defender, in 3, and they've dropped the ball here. Couldn't quite get to a kick to start the game.
A little bit of lack of communication there, I think, from the Dragons. Jade Efferton, who you spoke about, was lined up to get that football, and the ball just simply went to the wrong player, so they'll need to clean that up. I was impressed. I was watching Jade Efferton that first set and just watching her tell the women around her where she wants them to be. She's come into this side in a pretty important role, so I'm looking forward to watching how that plays out today.
This is Hilda Peters, who's wearing 9. Looks like she's playing a running back rower's role this afternoon. And Tegan Hardigan tackled hard. That's good defence there. Nuasala along with a Hancock through the hands, did. Nice pass. And Tasman Gray. Tackled by Johnson in the end and helped out as well. So the Warriors inside the 20. Centre field. Levu in 15 playing it. Here's Kira Dibb, away to Gray, dummies inside and accelerates. That's a good tackle by Horn, one-on-one on the bigger back rower. Couple out from the line, and tackle number 5 coming up for the Warriors. Away to Dibb, tries to find a hole in the defensive line, but couldn't do that. It was good reflexes for the Dragons. Ruan's with us sideline. Looks like a lovely day down there, Roo.
Good afternoon, Matt. It is a beautiful afternoon down here. It is a little bit muggy, though. It's around 24 degrees, and there is a 20-odd kilometre-an-hour northeasterly wind coming through. So as Sam Bremner just works her way through the middle, the Dragons having to work themselves out of trouble early with that miscommunication on the last tackle. They put themselves under some early pressure, but they're working their way through their yardage set.
All right, thanks, Roo. Good to have you with us. Here's the Dragons again within 10 metres of the halfway. Good defence there by Hilda Peters, who has played in every NRLW match the Warriors have featured in since the competition started. Here's Hancock now. Tackle 5. Up near the halfway. And Davis will grab it through a gap and give spirited chase after the ball. But that was good work by Hardigan. They've got a knock on, though. Just asking a little question there, Davis, with a grubber through and a chase, and she's forced a mistake.
Not a bad kick. They probably want to get it to that corner as much as they possibly can, just towards the first half of this opening set from the Dragons. I thought the way that they handled that set was really clever. They played through the middle, and in the previous 2 rounds, that's where the Warriors have shown a little bit of vulnerability through that middle third of the field. So they're playing clever football, and those opportunities when they're able to bring those strike weapons in from their edges, the Dragons, they'll come. But I like how they've started this match.
Now Jess Surgis, who herself has been under an injury cloud, nearly gets through the line. She had to play through necessity today, Jess. Normally she should have been ruled out. The Dragons with the opportunity to score first here. There's Chapman tackled. And a burrow from dummy half, and the ball is on the ground, is it? We're going to check. The Dragons players like that.
Tackle 3. We've got no try. Just confirm that the ball stays held up, please.
Farmasili, who tried to catch the markers, a bit stagnant, and she's got to the line. Now does the ball contact the ground? Plenty of Warriors jumpers around. Doesn't get there.
Doesn't look like it. She's got the right idea, though. When those outside backs for the Dragons do get in and take some of those carries, they're getting really quick play the ball. So that option's still there for the future, for sure.
All available angles do not show the ball. The live decision of no try will be supported.
Now the Dragons knew that. Already set up out on the left-hand side of the field. And tackle number 3 coming up. So the ball played here 10 metres out from the Warriors line. Here's Etherton playing a first NRL game away to Bremner, trying to catch the defence out here. And a pass for the winger who's bundled over the touchline. Great defence. That's Tegan Berry's first touch in the NRLW, but the Warriors have done a great job there.
Tackle 4. No try. Confirm no grounding, please.
That's incredible scramble defence from the Warriors. You could see by the way that they were shaping that attack, it was always going to hit that edge, and they noticed it early. Madison Bartlett did a great job to put her body in the right position here. Spun Tegan Berry around, and it looks like she's taken her out. Great defensive read and also execution.
And great desperation, wasn't it? And you can see after that tackle was made, the Warriors players came from right over the other side of the field and offered some congratulations there. Ruan, sideline, that was a really good effort.
It certainly was. We've seen both edges for the Warriors come up with some excellent defensive plays. Vania Polite on that left edge shut down Jess Surgis and then got underneath Fasavalu Farmasili for that.
We're happy Tegan Berry doesn't ground the ball. We're just looking for a restart here. And Tegan Berry goes touch and goal. We have a decision.
Oh, there you go. They'll get a 20-metre restart. So there's some great edge defence there by the Warriors, and that's really strong signs because they've been cut up a little bit there, but they've come up with the goods when it has been needed.
Wait, Georgia, wait.
Had a stack of players make their debut in NRLW this year, the Warriors. Of course, they've had to call in some Australian-based players to bolster their squad given the COVID situation. I think it's 13 players have debuted for the club this year. And here's Tasman Gray, who's played at all of the NRLW clubs. Played in a grand final as well, long-term Gillaroos representative. Levu tackled here, almost on the Dragons' 40-metre line. Kira Dibb throws it out in front of Stowers. Good yardage set this by the Warriors. They've picked up some excellent territory. Played to Bartlett and Dibb and Gray. That was a difficult pass. That probably wasn't on. And there's a turnover.
Probably just don't need to push those passes. They had great shape, and as you said, Maddie, they were making good meters. I think that has been one of the Warriors' downfalls, just those errors that they're forcing. So if they can stop those and continue to be strong and really punch those edges, they'll make great meters, and their attacking options come off the back of it quite nicely.
Miss Surgis, she might only be half fit, but gee, she's a handful still. You saw that, she ran over the top of Kara, the 7 for the Warriors. Here's Etherton. She's got a nice pass. Playing a first game, Jade Etherton. Saw some vision online of her this week, actually being told she was making NRLW debut. One of those emotional videos that have become more prominent over the last few years. She's a lifelong Dragons fan, they tell me, so it's a proud afternoon for her and her family.
She's an incredible footy player too, Jade. She's one of those people that you always want in your team. She's an incredible utility, so she can actually fill plenty of holes out there. It's just great to see her on the field, but in the halves, really impressed so far with how she's taken control and leading these women around the park.
There's Davis with another grubbing kick. Oh, Green has made a mistake this time. The Dragons got the ball back. And it's with Holmes. You heard the call of hold it. We've got a full set here. That was a bad mistake by Elliot Green. It sat up nicely for her and she couldn't handle it. Now Hancock barrels into them. Only 8 metres short of the Warriors' line. Their defence has been brittle at times in the competition, and they'll be tested to the full here. Etherton to Bremner, shows a dummy, fires it out to the wing, and the Dragons will score first. And it's Tegan Berry, who was denied a couple of moments ago. The 18-year-old on debut has got a first NRLW try.
Tackle 2. We have a try. Just confirm she stays in before she grounds the ball.
Tegan Berry maintains possession of the ball and grounds the ball in the in goal. We have a decision.
Good start, and it's that same play, Alana, where they nearly scored on the previous set down this end. They go left and they found some territory once again.
Yeah, great shape. The Dragons had that set. The key is Sammy Bremner, as we see here on the Harvey Norman replay. She's absolutely lightning, so she's able to really attract those defenders and then delivered another perfect pass to Tegan Berry on debut for the Dragons. Excellent seeing her out there on that edge. She's been holding her wit really well and timing those runs, and it paid off this time. Ruan, what did you see from the sideline?
Well, it came off the back of multiple errors from the Warriors, the most recent one being Elliot Green, which is uncharacteristic for her. And Tale Holmes and Jamie Chapman make the most of it here. But then you spoke about Sam Bremner. The reason she's so dangerous, when she drifts across field in that ball playing position, she holds it in 2 hands and she really makes the defence sit back on her heels, and she comes up with the perfect pass to finish off that set. And Tegan Berry, not to be denied a second time.
Oh, Davis, good strike, but it's just out to the left.
Time off.
Sideline conversion unsuccessful as we watch another replay of the opening try here. Dummy inside and then outside to Tegan Berry. And by the way, I can see the first one of those fans in the house.
Georgia, need you quicker in the rucks, okay?
Well, they might be depleted in troops, but the Dragons have scored first. They've got quite a list of absentees. Kezzy Apps and Maddie Studden. Isabel Kelly, of course, unavailable. They've had to mix and match, but they're on the board first, which would be an injection of confidence for this Dragons outfit. Let's see whether the Warriors can force a mistake. Well, they have. First play from the restart. Some roughhouse defence there.
They did really well to force that error, the Warriors. It's always so important coming off the back of points and how you handle that next set of 6, but they applied the pressure. Excellent job. Georgia Hale, she's been incredible this campaign. I love watching her play footy, and she had her hand in that. It was excellent by Georgia Hale. We'll see what the Warriors want to do with the footy. They love using it early and really attacking those edges, so they're set up quite nicely here, Maddie, to put on some brilliant attack.
Well, Polite and Green are their 2 go-tos, and Green is on the left-hand side, and that's the way they'll come. Hale from the back of the scrum. Here's Polite. She's electric. She leads the tackle, breaks in the comp, and Green away down the wing. She can fly. They call her the Green Machine, and that's why. And Green, both Olympic gold medalists in rugby sevens. Now Kira Dibb, tough one. Doesn't have the legs, it's 4-all.
Sideline conversion unsuccessful. Score remains 4-all. Here's another replay of the Elliott Green try. Nice final offload. Drew in 2 defenders.
Look, Keely.
Green still has some work to do.
I'll give you a whistle.
But we're now level in the NRLW. 4-all.
Stay on side. Stay on.
Great hit back to the Warriors. Elliott Green, the try scorer. Did catches the restart. And have a look at that for contact. Crystal Tamarua. And now Tasman Gray. Up over the halfway now. They've taken a bit of confidence out of that. And Karina Brown, Queensland Origin captain. There's not much of her, but she ran like a prop there. And now Levu, who started the game wearing 15, been very strong. Look at the yardage they've made here. And they get a penalty as well. 4 tackles.
Wait.
And they've come right up
Player in front there.
on the Dragons' 30-metre line. Really powerful running. They tap and they resume. And Levu, who drew the penalty, takes the first run. They might be hard to hold out here to the Warriors. Hale from dummy half. Away to Hilda Peters. She's 13 out from the Dragons line. Dibb's been good, shows a dummy, nearly breaks through them. They hold off Kira Dibb, or one-handed offload. Oh, that was only tackle number 2. Oh, they've stolen it back here. Gray with the steal. The referee has called us
from
back.
The Warriors, no advantage. Scrum. Keely.
Well, Kira Dibb will be disappointed with that. I actually, when she first dummied and went through and backed herself, I was really impressed because I love it when Kira Dibb does that, and she always comes up with clever football. Just that pass that didn't have to happen on the second tackle though, Maddie. They didn't need to push there, and they'll really have to step it up a notch in defence and try and jam these Dragons women and keep them up this end of the field as best they can.
And see whether the Dragons can complete a set here without making a mistake. They've sort of been on tilt after scoring the first try of the game. Telstra, of course, the proud naming rights partner of the NRL Women's Premiership. And this afternoon, we'll have the NRLW Grand Final preview. Doesn't happen very often, but the Roosters and the Broncos will meet here. We'll be with you from 4 o'clock, and immediately following that next week, those two teams will face off in the Grand Final. Well, Elsie Albert's gone out there, and that's a destructive first run, and now she's at it again.
2 in a row, she's hungry.
She's the Jason Taumalolo of Women's Rugby League, this girl.
And there it goes, it pays off. What an impact she's already had from the bench, Elsie Albert. She's been incredible this campaign as well. As tough as it gets through the middle and applies just so much pressure to that opposition defence. They'll have to be on their game and really tight to shut her down and slow down those play the balls.
PNG International. She's a star of Women's Rugby League. What an athlete. The Dragons with an opportunity here down near the Warriors line. Played by Johnston. And Etherton to Hancock. 2 passes wide. Oh, she shovels one out the back. Well taken by Davis. Surgis now. Put down 15 short. Kara made the tackle in conjunction with Hardigan. Ball lost backwards. And Etherton had to stop there. She had nowhere to go. Centre field now, Bremner. They wanted to come back. Oh, gee, the referee didn't call last tackle there until they'd played the ball. And this is going to be a changeover. Well, I've got to say, they're a bit hard done by there, the Dragons, and some of the players have got a surprised look on their face because the referee didn't say 5th tackle when they played it. Obviously got a tip from upstairs. And there's Brown with a good run. Down to Rowan for a comment.
Well, Matt, it has been frantic pace so far. We've seen a lot of errors from both sides and just getting caught with a few poor last tackle options from both teams, it's still an entertaining game of football, and I feel like it's really going to open up with the leg speed of Elsie Albert coming on for the Dragons.
Oh, yeah, she's a weapon, isn't she? My goodness, those two runs are amazing. And Dib with a lovely ball, and that was a great tackle too. That was Johnston with a tackle on Hilda Peters that had to be made. She'd have been scooting upfield otherwise. Dib now, oh, there's Albert again. What a great shot. Now Kara has to put boot to ball, sends it down to the Dragons 20. And it's taken by Jamie Chapman. They still haven't stopped her in the tackle here. She's back past the 30 and she's still going. Great reply. Here's Tegan Berry. She's from the Shell Harbour Stingrays. She's doing a HSC at the moment. They were telling me pre-game. She might have just completed the HSC this year. Has it finished yet? I don't remember school days alone. It was too long ago. And now Hancock. Didn't pay much attention anyway. Davis.
With the Dragons through their outside backs have made great metres. They're just coming up to that 20-metre line, which is pretty good positioning to attack.
Oh, Steph Hancock with the bomb.
Love that.
And it's touched forward off a Dragon. This should be a knock on. The referees let it continue. And Hall, oh, 6 to go. Gee, up. And then they've lost the ball anyway. It looked like a Dragon's hand on that anyhow.
Well, on that note, Steph Hancock, she put up an incredible kick. It's a great defensive effort from the Dragons in round 1. So the more kicking she can do for the Dragons, I actually think she should be their first pick for those 5th tackle options. She's a great kicker of the footy.
Don't tell Andrew Johns that. If there's a front rower who's a designated general kicker, he'll be most unhappy.
Well, I was watching the game with Freddie. He came in, joined me on the sideline and saw the kick and was absolutely raving.
Yeah. All right. Have to talk to the kicking licence superintendent. Tamarua tackled, Hale the dummy half, and Dib with a pass away there to Economos, who's dumped into the ground. This is a great defensive set by the Dragons. Warriors have gone absolutely nowhere, and Dib, and the kick flies just over the halfway. Berry with the catch, and the kick chase is pretty good. Rakia Horn, I've seen a lot of her in NRLW. Her first appearance this season, though. Oh, Bremner tried to scoop and take off, but forgot to pick the ball up. And now the Warriors. Some of the Dragons had their backs turned there. And Bremner, who made the mistake, made the tackle in the end. Here goes Hardigan. Albert and Hancock, the tacklers now. Gray, good run. Looking to offload, out the back it comes. Dib with the catch. Ball to Economos. She's within 15 of the Dragons line now. They're going to go left. They're going to that strike side of the ground. Kara with a good ball. The pass is pushed again. They're just throwing some unnecessary passes at the moment, this Warriors team.
It's a shame too. They look a little bit frantic, but the setup play and the lead-up play during that set was perfect. They were playing a really direct brand of football. The Dragons are all on the back foot. They just need to hold it and continue to build that pressure, work for that 5th tackle option. Ruan.
Well, at the moment, the Warriors are just trying to score off every time they get into their own attacking 30 metres. They just, as you spoke about, we see the ball go backwards here from the Dragons. They just need to build that pressure and just have a little bit of patience as Elsie Albert is just shrugging off defenders left, right and centre. She's finally brought down on her own 40-metre line. But the Dragons, I spoke to Steph Hancock before the game and I said, Steph, give us another kick because I've been talking up the last one. Do you reckon she listened to me?
Oh, I think she did. We might see another one before this game's out. There's the last. And Davis. Oh, Green. She doesn't look comfortable. She took it in the end. And if she gets it with the territory here, look out. Oh, nearly broke through the tackle there. Well done by Farmasilli in the end. Now, Karina Brown
That was a great tackle on Elliot Green. She is the last person you want to hit one-on-one when she's got a little bit of space in front of her, let me tell you.
Gray, Stowers broke out of the first tackle. And tackled by Horn. Gray, she's had a stick of football, Tasman Gray. She's been outstanding. This is Patai, who's into the game now in jumper number 20, Dib. Lovely long right to left pass. And they're over their best side of the ground for attack. Green couldn't take the pass, it was behind her. And so the momentum's just broken down.
Georgia!
Kara kicks high. Oh, look out! We've had a collision and somehow the Dragons have still got the ball. See, that was good by Etherton. Could have been a serious issue there for the Dragons. Just a word too on the halfback, Naomi Kara, for the Warriors who put that kick up. She's 34 years old. She plays with the Tigers in Sydney and has been called up here to help the Warriors out, playing her first NRLW game today. Great front on tackle. The ball's been lost again.
That was Ivania Polite, constantly responsible for those momentum changes, just those individual efforts. She's an incredible footy player. The Warriors now have the footy in great attacking position. We just need them to stick that last pass and hold on to the footy.
Hale, they held off of there. She's a couple out from the line.
Hold that line! Hold the line!
Peters goes in the dummy half. Away to Kara. And now Polite, and they will nearly get their great goal line defence by the Dragons. Bremner in there, Surgis in there. They look destined to score. Kara for Peters, steps the first tackle, tries to find an opening, can't get through. They've still got a couple of plays left though, the Warriors. Let's see if they can just stay patient here. Here's Dib with a floating ball. Stowers in the clear, great pass, what a try. Madison Bartlett gets it down.
That was incredible. Kira Div in that same set threw a brilliant ball right to left. And then they come back here. That vision and the execution to get it to Shoni Stowers was incredible. And then that flick ball, which we saw on the Harvey Norman replay, out to Madison Bartlett. It's always been their strength, the Warriors. Just that execution of their passes and their ability to get it from one edge to another. But that set really highlighted the way that they do it, and it was very well worked by Kira Dibb, constantly having her hand in it and just directing her women around the park.
Oh, she's had a great game, Kira Dibb, Ruan, hasn't she? And lovely passing there.
She certainly has, and the right edge for the Warriors has been very strong. Tasman Gray, you touched on that with her. Now we're seeing it come to fruition for them. We've been seeing how dominant that left edge has been with Polite and Ellia Green just finding their way, but that was a beautiful offload by Chantel Stowers. I thought as it came out of the hand, I was really worried the touch judge was going to pull it back for a forward pass, but it was wonderfully executed. 4 points for the Warriors.
Yeah, it's been a good performance from them so far. They've been asked to do a fair bit of defence down on their own line. Dragons with 55% of the ball so far. But when they've had the footy, they've looked very dangerous. Now, Dibb missed one from the other sideline. They haven't been any kinder to her here. It's on target. Oh, just out to the right.
Sideline conversion unsuccessful. Score of 8, the New Zealand Warriors leading 8 points to 4. Tackle stats for you on our big screens. 22 so far for Georgia Hale.
Warriors with an advantage. 8-4 over the Dragons here. NRLW action from ANZ Stadium. 3 games coming to you today. Of course, you can see on screen there, Alana, Ruana, Danica Mason. They've got a new NRLW show streaming on 9 now with a brand new episode every week during the NRLW 2020 season. You'll be talking about the grand final next week, Alana.
Cannot wait, and it'll be a great match this afternoon at 4 o'clock when we get to see a little bit of a preview of that as well and just how the women line up. And take one another on. I cannot wait.
Yeah, it's curious how the coaches will treat that, knowing you're going to meet 8 days' time in a grand final. Do they throw all their tricks out there? Do they try and have a dominant win to take a psychological advantage? It's a curious position, isn't it?
It's interesting. A couple of the Roosters women have been rested, actually, but the Broncos just backing themselves. And I guess being better off for an extra run playing together.
The Warriors with their power game, as you can see, they've made plenty of yardage, and Dib bangs a kick up into the air. Oh, it was an awkward-looking chase there by Chapman, and the Warriors get down there in a hurry. We've got just under 5 minutes until half-time, 30-minute halves in NRLW, and the Dragons just need to be careful of making a mistake down here. They've struggled to complete their sets of late. Here's Johnston. Running strongly. That relieves a bit of pressure. Tackled near the 30-metre line. Christine Pauly out there now. Davis had to go back to catch that. Oh, look out! Ellia Green has knocked Jessica Surgis over with a great tackle.
Well, we'll keep that one for the highlights reel. That hurt watching. Ellia Green, what an absolute machine.
You've got a new opener for your digital show next week, Alana. That's the shot you'll be using. Have a look at that. Bang!
Oh.
A couple of stars of Women's Rugby League coming together with great force.
And I tell you what, Jess Surgis isn't the easiest person to take down one-on-one either. That was perfectly executed from Ellia Green.
There's Economos now. She's had a good game. Just poking her nose through the line here. They're finding it hard to make initial contact on her in the tackle. Dib, with a short ball away. Shania Power. Last tackle, half-time nearing. Dib goes down his short side, and Stowers can't get there. Akia Horn with some good one-on-one defence.
Kira Dib choosing not to put in a 5th tackle kick there, but they still finished up the right end of the field. I guess they're just trying to back themselves out on that right edge because they have been so strong out there.
Sam Bremner. If there's one question mark on the Warriors, it's probably around their ability to play out a full 2 halves of football. Their fitness at times just sort of lets them down somewhat, but they've started here with great pizzazz. And there's another great tackle by Green. Again on Surgis. What a battle on that side of the ground.
This is the best half of football that I've seen the Warriors women play in that middle third. You speak about their fitness, and that's where their vulnerabilities have certainly surfaced in the last 2 games. So I'm really impressed by the way that they've handled that. And just towards the back end of the half.
Oh, Karina Brown, she's brave. Charges at full tilt every time. Now Green. I'll tell you, she's got something in for Jessica Surgis. Now Polite near the sideline, breaks out of the defence, gets to Surgis. Jess is going to have to drag her down here. How long? 90 seconds until half-time. The Warriors, I reckon the Warriors fancy they got another try in them here. Oh, it bounced once. It was taken by Hale, who goes to Economos. Centre field, 30 metres. Did now for Power, who tries to get through the line. Here's the last tackle for the Warriors. Can they muster something here with what should be their final play of the half? Dib's going to kick across the field. She's looking for Green. Oh, she had an air swing at it, and the ball bounces over the sideline. Well, that was lucky for the Dragons, because if Green had taken that, it was all over.
Still a good set from the Warriors. They finished at the right end. Kira Dib had absolutely no kick pressure on her, and she put it up perfectly. Just unlucky there that Ellia Green wasn't able to get the footy. But I've been impressed watching Georgia Hale. She's come in and played and filled that hooking role, which I thought Hilda Peters has been doing a brilliant job, just constantly choosing the right options, both sides of the ruck. But we'll see Georgia Hale finish out this last bit of the first half at hooker.
Hale with a good tackle there on Bremner. Well, they've got enough danger players, the Dragons. Scoring points won't be the problem. It's only a one-try margin, of course. Oh, no, there's a knock-on here. Although the siren's going to beat everyone. And a well-earned half-time break. That is an action-packed half of footy here to start what is a triple header of rugby league from ANZ Stadium. Half-time, NRLW. Warriors 8 leading the Dragons 4. It's the Warriors by 4 as we await the start of the second half here. NRLW action. Dragons and Warriors from ANZ. The key in the second half, Alana, for you?
Kira Dibb from the Warriors. A brilliant first half of footy, probably up there with one of the best I've seen her play. She's definitely the dominant half out there today. She's been getting great ball from both hookers. Just running at the line with options really well. I've been really impressed, and she's a real key to these Warriors side. Ruan, what about you for the Dragons? Who's the key?
I'm looking at the captain, Sam Bremner, because the 2 times that she's had the ball in her hands in their own attacking 20, they've scored once and got tackled up, bundled over the line the second time. So she's the one that's going to create opportunities for the mighty Red V.
Thanks, Roo. And there's Dibb, who retrieves the kick-off. Final 30 minutes of the season for both clubs, who can walk away with a consolation win, a confidence-boosting win maybe heading into next year. Here's Power, 8 metres out from the halfway. Their yardage game has just been dynamic here, the Warriors. They are powering their way up the field. Now Dibb goes to Economos. Look really well organised too in attack, the Warriors. Hale to Dibb. Plays behind to Brown, who uses a pace. Great tackle there by Horn.
Jade square.
Last tackle, bad ball out of dummy half. Economos is going to go through their hands here. They eventually found Kara, who sends up a high kick. Bremner in the firing line and took it under great pressure. Well done, Sam. Now, this is Jamie Chapman. Now, is that Jess Surgis?
No, it's Georgia Page, the second rower. For the Dragons, she's stayed in the sheds after half-time. So, Roo, we might get you to find out what's happening down there and get a little update when you can.
Well, what that will mean is that they're down to 15 players. It's been an awful casualty ward for the Dragons over this week, or last couple of weeks, really. There's Jess Surgis. And back to Davis, sort of going nowhere here with it. And on the last tackle, they're just up over the halfway. Hardigan, the defender there, on Davis, who's the usual kicker. So up steps Steph Hancock with another midfield bomb, becoming a trademark for her. What a catch, too, at the back by Bartlett.
That was a great defensive set from the Warriors. They really smothered those options with Dragons' attack, especially on their edges.
Georgia Page is emerging from the tunnel. Not sure if she's going to take any part. We'll get the latest from the Dragons in a tick. Stowers tackle. Hale for Dibb for Economos, who's been really strong. But look at that, numbers in the tackle. Good intensity in the Dragons' defence there. 8 short of the halfway line. Hale, a short ball from Kara. They found Hardigan, and it gets roughed up in a good tackle there by Hancock. Down the short side. Polite, where's Green? Here she is. Green down a wing, tries to step inside. Bremner, got her in a brilliant try-saving tackle. Well, Sam Bremner might have saved the game there.
What a huge effort from Sammy Bremner on Ellia Green, probably the hardest person to tackle on the field this match, but they just back Avania Polite to break through that first tackle, and every time she's able to get Ellia Green the ball without a defender in front of her. But as I said, excellent work from Sammy Bremner to stop that try.
The ball comes out now to Holmes. Oh, they needed that penalty. They needed that big time. Well, Horn with a good run after the tap kick restart. Up to the halfway. Tackled by Power. Oh, good run that one as well. They got a bit of momentum here. That's Holmes. Played it quickly. And Albert. They pull Elsie down, 25 out. The Dragons building here. They play left. And it's Holmes again. She's had a good game. She's got the job of filling in for Kezie Apps on that left side. Bremner into first receiver. Etherden, and here's a pass to Paulie, who had her legs taken down. Last tackle. Oh, she lost the ball there.
Before the play the ball, scrum.
That's a costly error for the Dragons. We'll see here on the replay. They had great shape there, and they were making easy meters through the Warriors, so plenty of momentum. I like their shape. I loved seeing Sammy Bremner in there at first receiver. They just look dangerous when she's got the footy in the hands, and I said it last week, I'd love to see her in that 5'8" position, and I just think the more she's there, the more worrying they're going to be for that Warriors defence.
Yes, Roo?
Just an update for you. Georgia Page had some difficulty with her breathing. She was being tested by the doctor and had a little bit of an asthma attack, but she's made her way back out to the sideline. And just that tackle by Karina Brown then on a big Paulie as we see them push.
Here we go. The Warriors through Polite. She keeps the ball in. Oh, how did they do that? Polite was about to be bundled up to the hot dog stand up the tunnel, and then she got the ball back to Green. And then somehow Karina Brown ended up with it. They've got a penalty. What a run. Ruan, sorry, I rudely interrupted you.
No, it was worth it. It was a beautiful sprint down the sideline by Ivania Polite, but Karina Brown came up with a wonderful tackle on a much bigger body. But we spoke earlier about the injuries to the New South Wales squad for the Origin. I tell you what, though, Ellia Green, potentially she's eligible for New South Wales.
She's eligible. She's in, mate. She is in. Oh, good tackle. Great driving defence. Look at that. Brilliant stuff. That was Paulie along with Johnston. But the Warriors, they look all in sync with the ball here, and they're 26 out from the Dragons line. Here's Brown. Away to Peters. Again, a strong tackle by Paulie. Kara throws it out in front of Elite. Green with a juggle. They don't tackle the first time. Johnston's over there to drag the winger down. 8 metres out from the line. Kara kicks to the in goal. Oh, it's going to be too deep. You sort of got to nail that kick from there, don't you?
Yeah, it's a nice little piggyback for the Dragons to get out here. They'll get a great head start. We saw them their last set making really damaging meters through this Warriors defence, so a huge set for the Warriors. They're going to have to meet them every tackle here and just apply that pressure. When they were down the other end, the Dragons, they looked very dangerous. That was when Sammy Bremner moved into the 5'8" position, into first receiver.
Georgia.
Here's Etherden. Some good footwork.
Lincoln.
He's tackled on her own 40-metre line. Bremner for Horn. Bumped off Stowers. And Power comes in to complete the tackle. No score after the half-time break so far. But it is a warm afternoon, and I'd imagine fatigue will play a part in this as we get to the closing moments. On the halfway, the Dragons now through Etherden. Cut-out pass from Davis. It was a nice ball. That floated forward but went back out of the hands. And Jamie Chapman tackled here. Has to go back and play it to Jess Surgis. Then Davis, then Etherden, then Paulie on an angled run. They get to tackle 5. It's a bit of controlled set here by the Dragons. And Davis playing on the right, tries a chip over the top. She's pulled it off. Surges has got it and then threw it forward.
Last tackle, changeover.
Well, that was spectacular.
Wasn't it ever? Great option, Jess Surges. They did very well to stop her. Karina Brown again, she's been exceptional at the back. I thought what the Dragons did really well that set was they chanced their arm a little bit earlier. They didn't wait for the 5th tackle to throw the footy around. They did it a little bit earlier, and they're going to have to do that. They need to apply a little bit of pressure to these Warriors and really fatigue them.
Coming up tonight, minor premiers Panthers up against the Old Masters Bunnies. They're both fighting for the right to take on the Melbourne Storm in the grand final next week. What a contest. Probably the two most electric attacking teams in the comp, although the way Melbourne started last night, they made a case too. That was breathtaking. Watching the way Melbourne just puts Canberra to the sword in the first 20 minutes. We'll see it all tonight from 7 o'clock. Stowers, good chance here, great passing. Kira Dibb's in the clear. She can't find support. She's pulled down just inside the 20. Oh, that's Johnson, the front rower, who gave chase. Great effort. Away to Cara, out now to Karina Brown. Where's Polite? Here she is. She goes to the line and she's pulled down in a really good tackle by Jess Surges. Ruan, that battle, Surges and Polite, that's been brilliant.
I love it. It's been fantastic down this side. It's been so good to see them up close as well. Such physical, fast, strong athletes coming together. But there's a wonderful break down the right edge for the Warriors, and they did exactly what you need to do. When you make a break down one edge, you need to spread the defence. You need to shift it to the other side and try and find some joy. Unfortunately, they lose the handle of the ball in a tackle, and now the Dragons, they've been kept down in their own 30 metres.
Kira Dibb probably would have passed that during the first half. We saw a couple of those last-minute frantic offloads, so even Kira Dibb did much better than the first 30 minutes we saw the Warriors put on. A little bit more composed. Good signs.
Johnston with a juggle. She saved the try with that
Lock in.
cover defensive effort. A second to go. Now Bremner with all her pace and enthusiasm can't break the line. Stowers with an excellent tackle. Now Etherton bangs a kick downfield where Green is waiting for it. Now the kick chase will want to be good. Ilya Green accelerates and runs into the defence, but they stand up to her. Keely Davis, one with Mahalia Murphy, who's on the ground now. And then Hardigan can't go anywhere with that run. Karina Brown, about to be one of the bravest players in women's rugby league, I reckon. She's, what, 60 kilos ringing wet, and she plays at 1,000 miles an hour. The Warriors are through here. It's Tamarua, is it? Or is it? It is Tamarua, the front rower. She was stretching out like a 3/4. They might have had a case for 6 more there. The referee didn't agree, and here's Stowers. Great tackle again by Horn. She's made some try savers in the game so far. Dibb down a short side. Kira Dibb, backhanded pass. Try to the Warriors. That was spectacular. And it's Shania Power who plonks it down.
What about that right edge raid from the Warriors? We saw them do it a couple of sets ago.
We saw her come up with a beautiful Harbour Bridge pass for a try, and then we just see her darting around the ruck. Her ruck recognition has improved over the last couple of years, and as she lines up to take this kick, that beautiful sprint down the middle from the front rower, I love seeing that. I love seeing the big forwards get in open space, and it was good patience to show and wait.
All right, now a difficult kick again from Div, but she's hit a couple of previous attempts okay, but the target's just off.
The conversion unsuccessful by Kira Div, but what an off-block for the try to Shania Power. And the score remains the Warriors leading 12 points to 4 in the NRLW.
Me on the 10, okay? Keep looking for me on the 10, you've got to make it back.
The undefeated Roosters up against the back-to-back
Warriors 12, Dragons 4. They've played some exceptional footy today, the Warriors. Oh, this kick is going to roll dead. They've made a bad mistake there after scoring points. Fundamentals have let them down on that occasion.
Shot clock's on. We're on the clock, girls. We're on the clock. Okay, we're on the clock, Kira. Stay on. Stay on. Stay on side.
Chuck yours, Chuck. Go, go, go.
Good run by Jamie Chapman. They're 15 out here, the Dragons. They can answer back
Take it back. Tackle one.
straight after conceding. Just over 15 minutes remaining in the match, so there's a stack of time. And Georgia Page, she's back into the game. Etherden threw it away to Johnston, who spilt the ball. Gee, the handling errors, Alana, that's been the major issue for the Dragons so far, hasn't it?
Sure has. That was a huge opportunity lost because they had 4 women out there on the left edge, but Sammy Bremner tucking in. I'm sure she was going to make a late sweep on the outside of Johnston there, and they had all the space in the world to attack that edge.
Pull them in tight, McKellar. Thanks, Sam. Heads in, stay in, clock off.
Tomorrow afternoon, don't miss the Suncorp Super Netball Grand Final as the Melbourne Vixens take on the West Coast Fever. Our live coverage from 1 p.m. right here on 9. Massive weekend of sport, isn't it? Georgia Hale tackled, centre of the 20-metre line. And now Hilda Peters can only pick up 5 or 6 metres. Polite. There's that battle again against Jess Surgis. And Hale in centre field. Speaking of the Rugby Sevens converts, shame about Charlotte Catholic during the week. She's out for the rest of the tournament, unfortunately. We would have seen her in the Roosters side this afternoon. And here's a kick that's headed towards the touchline. The Warriors are sprinting after it. You reckon they don't want to leave Australia with a victory to their name? That was great enthusiasm.
Great chase from the Warriors. I actually spoke to Charlotte Catholic during the week, Maddie, just to see how she's going. Her spirits are quite good, but she loved playing rugby league, which is great news for us. So she's shattered that she isn't able to finish the campaign, but hopefully really exciting signs for the future of women's rugby league, because I do know she absolutely loved the time that she was playing.
Etherden. Pass goes to Holmes. Good inside ball. Bremner backing up. This game far from gone here for the Dragons. Their little players could come into this against the big Warriors forward pack. Here's Elliot Green. A great kick reply now. Green is in open space. Sam Bremner's after. He's going to mow her down here. What a great chase. Green props, gives the pass away. It's Karina Brown now. Brown alive. She's stopped 13 metres out from the line. You thought Green was off for the prize there. What a great chase by Bremner. But the Warriors out of dummy half will get the try, and it is Kira Dibb, is it?
Vania Polite,
Polite.
Wasn't that huge? Elia Green, put your hands together.
Chasing her down. That was an absolute effort. Wonderful ruck recognition and a deserved try for Ravania.
What a great performance by the Warriors. Hard to believe they haven't won a game so far. This has been a breathtaking performance. Kira Dibb hits the post.
The conversion unsuccessful. Score remains 16-4. Number 19 on for St. George Illawarra, Madison Weatherall. And there are leaders.
Stay on side.
Palatine leads the way there with 1.
Stay on.
Warriors 16 over the Dragons 4. They are a happy outfit, the Warriors, and they've played like it.
Absolutely. One of the strengths of their campaigns, which we've spoken about, is them just respecting and learning one another's cultures. But quite a few, I think there's 10 women, 10 of the Warrior women that during this week actually got tattoos. And the meaning behind them are brave, strong Warrior women. And it really represents their experiences during this side. And I think we've seen that play out in this match, Maddie, how much it means to them and just how valuable that time is playing together on the field. This performance is by far their best. And it just shows that they all want to be here, how much it means to them, and give them the opportunity. They've certainly taken it with two hands, and they've improved not only every game, but every half that they've played.
Yeah, they got better as the game's gone on, you have to say. Lovely pass, that one from Brown. Here's Hale, she's got support. The Warriors are going to get another try, and it's Shania Power. Oh, this is about to get ugly in favour of the Warriors here. The Dragons can't lay a hand on them at the moment.
Just confirm the grounding, please.
They're just showing so much confidence, the Warriors. They're using the football.
Shania Power maintains possession of the ball and grounds the ball in the in goal. We have a decision.
A well-deserved try. They're using the footy. They've tired out the Dragons' defence. And they're just backing themselves with those passes and the support play. Brilliant work. Absolutely no surprise that Kira Dibb had her hand early on in this.
And their Chargers have come out charging this second half.
This is the easiest one Kira Dibbs had all afternoon. And she's nailed it. 22-4 with just over 8 minutes to go. Gee, the Warriors, they could put a score on here the way they're going. They're getting better as the game's gone on. A reminder as well, coming up this afternoon, we'll have a preview of the NRLW Grand Final with the Roosters and Broncos having already qualified to go through to the Grand Final next week. Catch it from 4 o'clock here on 9 and then tonight. Minor Premiers Panthers up against South Sydney as they both fight for a place in the Grand Final where Melbourne are already waiting for them. You'll catch all the action from 7 o'clock. A triple header here on 9's Wide World of Sports. It's like the old days. You go to the footy and watch 3 games.
How good is it?
Oh, it's brilliant.
Who do you think will win the NRL game, Maddie?
Well, given I'm third last in the Wide World of Sports tipping competition, I don't know I'm the person to ask, but I'm tipping the Panthers. Alana, how about yourself?
Yeah, I'm with you there. I think the Panthers' defensive mindset. I know that there have been lapses, but that 6 again rule changes everything. But yeah, I just think they'll be able to smother them in defence a little bit, and both teams will know how able they are in attack.
Where are you in the Wide World of Sports tipping contest, Ruan?
I think I'm just ahead of you, fourth last.
Yes. Who are you tipping tonight?
I've also tipped the Panthers just because I think both teams attacking-wise are fantastic, but the Panthers' defence might just have the edge.
That'll be a cracker. Whoever wins will have their work cut out for them to stop Melbourne, though, given the way they played last night. Now, Dibb with ample time to send that kick up high into the air. And Bremner with a good catch, and she's off upfield. She gives 100%, Sam, doesn't she?
Safe as houses underneath that high ball too, Sammy Bremner. Puts herself in the right position, reads it really well.
Had a long period out of Women's Rugby League, of course, with injury, and she became a mum too. It's good to see her back on this stage. Rakia Horn now plays it fast, so fast, in fact, it took the dummy half a while to get there. Over to Paulie. Oh, good defence there from Polite. Cut Georgia Page down. Now Mahalia Murphy. Ran into Kara, who got left flat on the back. This is almost the Dragons' best set of the half, you have to say. They've come right down the Warriors' side of the field. Here's Eckerton. Little pass underneath to Johnston. She keeps it alive. And Albert will offload. Ball rolls along the deck. It's still backwards, so it's still alive here for the Dragons. Horn's got it, but they've nabbed her on the last tackle.
A lot more energy that set from the Illawarra Dragons, and Sammy Bremner started that set. She took a great ball underneath the high ball, and then just using her speed and footwork was able to get them on the front foot. Just those big tackle options have really let them down today.
There's Shania Powell. She's had a cracking game. She's the first Warriors player to score 2 tries in an NRLW match. Green and Polite up the top, along with Karina Brown. They've really dominated the Ardage game, haven't they? It's been a powerful display by the Warriors. 5.5 to go.
Backwards, knock on, Georgia.
Backwards first, then a knock on.
All right, Dragons ball.
Okay.
Can they find a try here and at least offer them some kind of hope of a late resurgence?
Well, they've got nothing to lose. I'd love to see them chance their arm a little bit, and towards the beginning of the set too. Just get a little bit of that momentum, and then just attack those edges, because they look great when they do, but they can't leave it to the last all the time.
Murphy. And they chance their arm all right. That pass well off target. That's what happens when you're playing catch-up footy. It was always going to be a difficult task for them today, wasn't it, with all their key players out. Absent Kelly, like we said, and the 3 players they lost on game day. It was a very stern test for them, coming in with only 16 players too.
Yeah, and a lot of those edge players being out too. Tiana Panatini She is so brilliant at starting their sets, and I think that's one of the areas that they have been lacking. That energy and getting their team on the front foot. We saw when Sammy did it then, how much of a difference it makes to their attack and getting down that other end of the field. So I think that's been a huge out for the Dragons, not only with their energy, but their confidence off the back of it.
There's Tamarua. Another great run. One of a number of New Zealand internationals in this Warriors team. She's played a stack of games for a country. They've turned it over again here, getting a bit sloppy with 3.5 minutes to go. Warriors have got this one safely wrapped up now.
Thanks, Michaela.
Be a winless campaign for the Dragons, which is, when you consider the calibre of their squad at the start of things, I think most people were tipping them to challenge for the comp, weren't they, Alana?
Yeah, they were coming in close to favourites. Broncos have always been around there. They've been the benchmark the entire time, but when you looked at those players that they had on paper and the strike weapons that they had out there, plenty of people and experts were tipping them to be favourites, so they'd be disappointed with their campaign.
Strong stuff there. She's not giving in. Madison Weatherall. Here's Hancock. We saw Georgia Hale. You could hear there through the effects mic that Hale was called offside, so Hancock ran straight at it. And here's a chance now for the Dragons. They got a consolation try. It looks like they do. Farmasili has burrowed over. She was denied one early in the game, but she'll get one before the game wraps up.
As we see here on the Harvey Norman replay, the Warriors just a little bit flat-footed in the middle of that field, having to cover themselves in defence, but a great opportunity taken by the Dragons. Great vision from dummy half, excellent footwork, and just backed herself to get over. But they were up that end of the field just by using their vision and a little bit of that energy that we spoke about. So they're playing up the right end of the field to finish off the game, and looks like they'll finish off on a high.
Ruan.
Well, Fasabalu Falbasili did this in the first half and she got held up over the line, but this time she just wasn't to be denied. Great ruck recognition. Hearing that the referee called Georgia Hale offside meant that she could jump out, had all the space in front of her and put the ball down right next to the goalpost. Pretty good effort, nice way to finish, but as you guys spoke about, the Dragons will be very disappointed with their tilt this year and they'll work hard in the off-season, come back firing for 2021.
Tegan Berry will take this shot at goal in her first NRLW game.
Not just here at the stadium, but also online, where there's been millions of views.
It's been a difficult year if you're a fan of the Red V. Let's hope both your women's and men's teams bounce back in better fashion in 2021. Farmasili was diving in amongst some of the tiring bigger forwards for the Warriors, but in all honesty, the Warriors have had them covered for... The Dragons got the first try, and the Warriors answered back quickly after that, and they've probably had them covered for the majority of the game, haven't they, Alana?
They sure have. Kira Dibb and Georgia Hale just controlling the gameplay of the Warriors has been brilliant. They've got some great assets on both edges, and I think the way that they've utilised them has been brilliant.
So, final minute of the contest here. Warriors with an upset win, if you like. Dragons were favoured here, but those player withdrawals today certainly tilted things in favour of the Warriors, and they have dominated. Here's Mahalia Murphy and Georgia Page. Tackle there by Hardigan on the halfway line. Here's Steph Hancock. Still toiling away up the middle of the ground. Etherton with a long pass for Bremner. And Kira Dibb up there to help make the tackle. Last play of the game coming up. The Warriors will finish third in the NRLW competition for the third year. And Karina Brown takes the catch. She thought about giving it to Ellia Green to see whether she could sprint the distance, but the job is done. And the Warriors have ended their campaign with a victory, and they have done it in most convincing fashion as well. Warriors 22, Dragons 10.